Hello, I'm Christine in episode 10 of Shadowhunters Season 2, the mid-season finale, just for me and Shadowhunters, 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 hunt, 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 hunt. I had no idea we were coming to the mid-season finale so soon. I don't know, I just had 13 episodes in my head because first season was 13 episodes, but they've decided to split this season and the show comes back June 5th, 2017. So we had a finale last night and it was so much better. It was so much better than the finale from the first season, like it blew it out of the water. Good job, good job. I think I'd give it an A-. That's all I can really say for the non-spoilery section. If you haven't watched it yet, I recommend you go watch it. Come back and we can discuss it because a shitload of stuff happened. I took so many notes. I haven't taken this many notes in ages. Let's do this. Bye-bye non-spoileries. Okay, we open up with the Institute doors opening and Madsy, the tiny little warlock, is there and there's like 4 guys passed out around her. She takes off her scarf and her gills start sucking in the air. It's weird because warlocks' marks don't really, to my knowledge, have like weird abilities to them. They're usually just a visual mark. Then we jump to Valentine and Simon. And Valentine is FaceTiming Clary, who is still at the abandoned warehouse with Jace. I loved that Simon was the hostage. When Valentine slit Simon's throat, I got so happy. Legit, my note says, yes, slit Simon's throat, yes, yes. I needed that. I needed that book piece. They throw out a lot of information that we've never heard before and we've never really talked about in the book, so I can't even confirm whether or not this is a real thing. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. It doesn't sound real to me. Every institute is powered by an angelic power core. This angelic power core can be the lightning that Valentine needs to turn on the sword, which doesn't really make sense to me, but moving on. We cut back to Jace and Clary and they're with Luke. We know that it's a trap for Clary to go save Simon. Valentine needs her to turn on the sword when really this whole thing was a trap for Jace, and I loved that. Jace is trying to convince Clary that she shouldn't go, and he's like, I can save Simon. And I was, my heart in that second when he said I can save Simon. Who knew one stupid line? It just hit me. I was so happy. So we're talking about this vision and Magnus is like, let me see the vision, see if I can help you with this. My gut reaction, please do not make us watch that horrific CGI vision again. Of course, we do see it again. Like, if we're gonna see it multiple times, could you have just shot something that looked a little real? Could you just, as soon as we come up with this theory that Jace touches the sword and it will destroy it and him, I was so skeptical because no, that was not him in the vision. But the show started to make me second guess myself, which, good for you, show. That is progress. I had a little thing in the back of my mind like, ugh, what if they did that? They didn't. That is Sebastian. That is Sebastian with the sword. Weird path to take, that if he touches the sword, he like disintegrates. I don't know what that's about, but that seems like where we're going. The vision meant that I'm more concerned with demon blood has the power to destroy the sword, blah, 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 blah. I'm not sure why they're changing the sword mythology so much. The battle at the end of this episode kind of felt underwhelming as compared to like if we worked up to that big battle on the boat with the Shadowhunters and then in the future had the giant battle with everyone. We already are all working together, so we can't grow to a point where we'd be working together with the Bind Ruin, you know, in City of Glass. That was fantastic. Now, I don't know, we're down a different path. We know Jace isn't gonna die when he touches the sword. He's not gonna die in the second season, mid-season finale. The lead character in the show. There's no threat there. We got another very interesting development with Raphael. I think they're making him an asexual character, which is something that I've never seen on television and barely seen in any other sorts of media either. So that was really cool. Raphael himself in the episode, he just left Izzy like a junkie on the couch and hid her phone. I think Jace asked about Izzy and Izzy was safe and he's like, thank the angel. That was nice. It's always nice to see these Shadowhunter-isms naturally slipped in instead of like forced, which they have been many a time. Shit's going down at the Institute. Magnus is worried. He's looking out into the distance and he's like, I'm not used to feeling so... And there's this long pause where I was just waiting for him to break into helpless. He didn't though. I feel like there's been at least 3 hardcore could have broken out into song moments just this first half of season 2. We watched Simon get his throat cut over FaceTime. I'm over here, yes, yes, yes. Clary turns to Magnus, portal me to the Institute. Excuse me, like, can you just say please? Can you just be like, please, Magnus, please portal me to the Institute. Magnus, portal me to the Institute, please. Please and thank you. They are the magic word. Did you miss that episode of Barney? Why we no say please? We got to a scene with Aldertree and Alec. They have to work together to shut down the core. And Aldertree is fucking lying about the whole Yin Fen situation with Izzy. He's making me so freaking mad. Luckily, Alec doesn't believe him for a second, but it doesn't change how much I fucking hate Aldertree. Come back to a scene with Luke and Jace in the car. They're on their way to the Institute to save Simon. Luke has this line where he's like, I had a Parabati once. ... I know what you're going through. That was, I think, the most uncomfortable line of the episode. That's the difference between like a forced Shadowhunterism and a natural Shadowhunterism that happened when Jace was on the phone call. Because we know that he had a Parabati once. We've like extensively talked about how Valentine was Luke's Parabati. So why wouldn't he just say like, I feel you. You know, Valentine is my Parabati. Like, I've gone through this. It's gonna be okay. I had a Parabati once. Kill me like you killed my falcon. So we're driving to the Institute and Maya like freaking attacks the car with Luke and Jason. And I'm just like so fed up with show Maya. She is so hot-headed. Just sit down. Just get out of it. I don't like what they're doing with her. I mean, maybe they're going for like a bigger character arc where she like stops being hot-headed. And I just don't understand. I don't want her to date anyone because she's just like, oh, let me kill Carrie. Oh, let me jump in front of a car. Oh, I'm gonna kill Luke. Just like... Go away. We cut to Magnus and Clary portaling to the Institute, and this scene looked fantastic. Magnus looked great. That portal, man. It looked beautiful. Then we got this wide shot with the Institute with Magnus and Clary in front of it. It looked beautiful. Also, I don't know if you noticed in this episode, we had some time-lapse shots of New York City. Like, whoa! Taking it up a notch. Good for you, Shadowhunters. Vampires come out of nowhere and attack. Stop! It turns out it was Raphael and his cronies. I don't think I've ever said that word aloud and it felt weird. Cronies. Raphael and his crew. Luke and Jace come in and they settle everything and everything's good. Cut back to a scene with Aldertree. He's on the roof with Alec. There's this computer. They need to shut down the core. The juxtaposition of like Shadowhunters and computers. You can't shut that down from up here. Maybe not if you don't know the backdoor algorithms. He's a hacker now. And then Aldertree has the nerve to tell this freaking story. Oh, I hated it so much. I was just like, stop right there. Thank you very much. I don't give a shit about your past. Just like everything that comes out of his mouth, I'm like, lies. Lies, I fucking hate you. He was in love with a werewolf named Ava, and then like there was this massacre, and Ava couldn't handle it. She shifted and she couldn't control her wolf nature. Aldertree had to murder her first. Bitch, please. We cut back, we see Clary enter the Institute. These two lanky Shadowhunters grab her and she's like, let go of me. Why are we tugging her back and forth? Is there somewhere she's gonna run? She came here of her own volition. Why don't they just like hold out seraph blades and threaten her and then she can walk on her own 2 feet? So they take Clary to Simon, who is dying. Clary sits down, cuts open an arm, feeds it to Simon. And if you read the books, I'm sure you also had this moment where you were like disappointed for a second because I wanted it to be Jay. I wanted it to be Jay so bad, so bad. In that same moment, you're like, but it could be Claire. It could be Claire. It could still be daylight. It still could be Claire. And then shapeshifter. I was like, yes! It was the first time I was like happy someone shapeshifted, but at the same time, I'm like, that was the stupidest. Are you telling me Valentine will fall for his own tricks? Are you telling me there's no way to know when someone's shapeshifting, even if you're on the lookout for shapeshifting? And I absolutely loved, oh god, it was so funny that Valentine was like, shapeshifting, that's original. I learned from the best. Oh god, it's just so ridiculous. Like, I can't believe this happened again. And Valentine fell for. I am ready for Clary to invent the anti-shapeshift ruin, or like a ruin that just like destroys shapeshifting all over the world. Jason Simon. I was just so giddy that like Jason Simon together. Jason Simon. We had a scene with Magnus and Maddie. It was really great to see Magnus appealing to Maddie and explaining that she's been being used. But at the same time, if I were Maddie, I'd be real confused because how do I know who's using me and who's not? How do I know that this man that I don't know isn't also going to use me? You know? We cut to a scene with Clary. She's She's attacked by some Shadowhunters working for Valentine. She's way too good at fighting, in my opinion. She just takes them out, and then 2 other ones come and she can't take them on. No, they come from behind, so she's done. I feel like they haven't found the balance of like where Clary is with her training, but at least she looked cool doing it. Like, that has been such a big step up this season. The fighting looks awesome. Jace and Simon working together. It was everything I wanted. He throws Simon a dagger and he's like, you know how to use that? Yeah, just point and stab, right? And Jace is like, nice moves back there. Thanks, I've been practicing. Cut back to the roof with Allertree and Alec. 4 Valentine guys show up, and then Izzy shows up behind them like, boom, 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 boom. And she's so badass and takes them all out, and it's awesome, but then she's lost it. It was kind of like she was on a Yinfen high and then crashed, but she was already crashing, so I'm not sure where that jolt of energy came from. Maybe she put on a ruin or something that like burns out really quickly. I mean, it could be explained some way. I'm really glad that she's coming to her senses. I love her little confrontation at the end with Raph. Back to Simon and Jace. I'm pretty sure this dialogue was right out of the book. Simon's apologizing for almost killing Jace. I'm so sorry, like I've never experienced bloodlust like that and I just couldn't stop. And Jace is like, don't apologize, but I would have killed you. I would have let you. That is straight out the book. I remember reading that and being like, oh my god. And Simon just keeps talking and Jace is like, you know how you can make me? How? Shut up. Please. Perfect. We see Clary, she's being taken to Valentine to the sword to activate it. Valentine is excellent. Alan Van Sprang just sells everything so beautifully. Jace comes out of nowhere, touches the sword. He's like expecting to die or destroy it, and all it does is zap him and he falls down because he activated the sword. That's all it took, touching it. And all of a sudden, it was activated. It was in the core already. All I needed was just touch, and it was like, boom, bitch. Weapon of mass destruction, ready to rumble. Oh my goodness. I don't like how it works. I don't like how Valentine just like holds it up to the sky and it explodes and destroys everyone. It just seems so easy. It kills every downworlder in the vicinity. Luckily, our favorites are gone. Magnus has gone and taken Maddie somewhere. Simon is full of angel blood, so he's good to go. Sebastian must have been outside. I love Clary's line, like, I just hope the animus inside the walls contained the blast. What? Overall, I love that this entire thing was a trap. All this planting in Jace's mind that he has demon blood was a way to control him, and everything was a trap to get him to come activate the sword himself. Well played. Well played, Valentine. Alec comes rushing into the room with all the dead downworlders. He's concerned about Magnus, and that concern really touched my heart. It's very well acted. Jace is super upset and confused. He feels used and manipulated and stupid, and I can't imagine. And when he realizes Magnus might be hurt, his face. It was very upsetting to see the 2 of them looking at each other so genuinely upset. We cut to outside and Maya again is trying to ruffle feathers. Just sit down, Maya. Valentine is escaping with the sword. Luke attacks Valentine as a wolf. I wish he just attacked him as not a wolf because the CGI hurt a little bit with the wolf. And then Jace comes out. They fight. Valentine tells Jace, you are my greatest achievement, Jace. Oh god, it felt so Valentine. It was great. And then he tells him the truth. We're only mid-season 2 and the truth is out. Jace and Clary aren't sisters. Jocelyn is not his mom. He is not even his father. Jace is confused AF. And I feel so bad for him right now. He's gonna be a mess when we get back. Racked with guilt and unrequited love for Clary and confusion about his father and his family life. Oh, now I love this Valentine and Jace fight. During the fight, the score. What the hell is going on with the score? All of a sudden there's like weird 80s synth piano. Dun, 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 dun. That was weird. Clary sees the sword on the ground. She sees a ruin in her mind. Deactivate the sword. The sword zaps her and drops. Deactivate it. She leaves it there and she goes over where Jace has overpowered Valentine and he has a chance to kill him. And he doesn't. And we need information from Valentine because he has the mortal cup and he's the only one who knows where it is and la la la. It was eerie to see Valentine in cuffs in the Institute. He doesn't mind it. It's almost like he has a backup plan. He's so calm. I loved it. Alan Van Sprang, man, he's so good. And the sword disappears. At the very end of the episode, we get a shot of someone walking away with the sword. It's Sebastian! Like, it's gotta be Sebastian. We get this last exchange between Valentine and Jace. Right as they're taking Valentine away. What else did you lie about? What I didn't lie about was my love for you. I made you spaghetti. Never forget, I love you. Spaghetti! Alec, who's been panicked about Magnus, comes outside. Magnus is there, and they have this beautiful moment where they say, "I love you." It brought tears to my eyes, and they kiss, and it was wonderful. Magnus reveals that he's taken Madsy to Katrina's, who is another warlock that is mentioned a lot in the book, and it'll be interesting to see her. So then we have all the fallout happening. We find out that Alaric died in the blast inside. RIP. Alaric, you were really annoying in the show. And then a beam of light shines through the Institute, and it hits Simon in the face. He's a daylighter! He's a daylighter now! Oh my god, it made me so happy. When Simon runs to find Clary, and he takes her outside, and they like dance around in the sun, I was in legitimate tears. The joy that they share in that moment of him being able to go outside, it was so nice. In between that, we have this scene with Jace and Alec where he's telling Alec all the things that Valentine told him, and he tells him he's gonna tell Clary, and we're excited for him to finally tell Clary because that opens up the door to Clace. But Jace finds Clary and Simon celebrating in the sun, and poor guy can't bring himself to tell her right now because she's already happy with someone else. It was a great end, you guys. I'm excited. The show has grown so much this season. It's gotten so much better. Please share your thoughts. I'm Christine. I make videos every Tuesday. I am @XTeenMay on Twitter and Instagram. I will see you next time. Goodbye!